Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, in the previous race, I was racing this guy, is Ren 70, and I was a little bit off the pace, but I think at this track with this car, I should do a little bit better. I've got 5.6 handling, he's got 5.7 handling. He's driving like an American muscle car. I'm driving the Countach, which is probably even better on straights. So we'll just see what we can do. Obviously, I've got the good launch in this car, so that's always handy to have in a situation like this. So I've jumped straight into the lead, and I know that from the previous race that you've just seen that this guy's really fast. But I think at this track with this car combination, I should equalise that pace. Not 100% though, so this is where I'm going to really struggle. Just these low speed, tight, twisty corners, and see straight away he's managed to hit me from behind because he's got probably has a much wider rear tyre, and he'll have better traction coming out of the corners. But then once I get the power down, it looks like I can open up that gap, and this is a really difficult corner to get right, and it looks like I've just about nailed it. Locked up slightly, but the exit is the most crucial part about that hairpin. And now I should be able to just give myself a little bit of breathing space. And in fact, looking at the distance marker there, I did open up the gap to about 130 feet, and it's closed right in on this section of corners, and it'll probably close up in even more here. In fact, yeah, contact again. So I'm really starting to feel the pressure at this point. This is where I really starting to feel, notice that, it was not going to be an easy race, I realising. And we're into another sequence of corners. I'm just going to hold it in third gear, which is really counterintuitive, but it just about does the job. Drop it down to second here, and there's a little bit more contact on wide. It's managed to get alongside me, but I've managed to keep control, and now I should just be able to do a simple power pass, and there it is. This last corner, it's like a really open hairpin. I'm pretty decent here. I don't know why, but a lot of people do seem to really struggle with this corner, especially with the bumpy. So yeah, I feel pretty confident there. A lot of people would, the race would be won or lost there, and a lot of people, if they're in the lead at that hairpin, would be pressured into drifting wide or getting on the bumps and losing the rear. But yeah, I feel pretty confident in my ability to take that last corner well. So that is absolutely crucial. That's definitely something that I've got in my pocket that I can use, especially at the end of the race. So as you can see, through the chicane is closing up again, and once I get the power down, I can open up. Looking at the markers again, just constantly looking on the left hand side, the distance markers. Opened up that time, it got to 140 feet, so it's a little bit more. He braked a little bit late, but managed to avoid contact. Hopefully that should mean that he'll have a worse exit than me, and I can open up a gap. But looking at the distance markers, I've only managed to open up 100 feet there before braking for the next corner, and I've drifted a little bit wide, only slightly. I can hold my line, just keep it nice and narrow through here. I've been struggling with this corner in this car, but I managed to do a decent enough job, and this is a really tricky one. Just try not to brake late. I think he broke slightly late there, which is why he made contact. I don't think he was particularly faster through there than me, but I am starting to get the impression that if he was in front, he would probably be pulling away slightly. I don't think he's got much more pace at this track. He definitely had a second on me at the last track, but yeah, it definitely feels as though he's got that little bit of extra pace, and I'm just slightly holding him up. But then again, it could be just the fact that he's got slightly better handling. As I was saying at the beginning, he's in the Chevy Bel Air, and he's got 5.7 handling. So here we are again. This is the hairpin, really tricky entry, but I nail it again. I don't think I get it wrong once in this race. Keeping really nice tight line and power out, but saying that, it looks as though he's pretty decent at that corner as well. but I have managed to pull away even more, slightly more. So I'm just gonna use that to my advantage. This next sequence where I'm slightly weaker, I will have that slight buffer this time, so I don't have to worry about him quite as much. But saying that, he is still right there, so he's must be, you know, the fact that he can close up so quickly at that point. In fact, it's tried to get down the inside. I was just keeping the normal racing line, and it closed him off, it blocked him off. I don't think that was unfair by me, but it looks as though it's compromised his exit from that corner, and he's dropped back quite far. I do feel like that was fair from me. I was on the racing line, I was on the inside of the corner, I was well ahead, so I just closed that gap down and just took my normal racing line. That's what you do as part of that corner, when you do just turn to the left slightly there. So I don't feel too bad. I don't know if he's aggrieved, but it doesn't seem as if he's driving aggressively particularly, but he has managed to close the gap up, so it's going to be close right to the end. We're coming onto this straight, and I can obviously stretch the legs of this car and open up that gap and just make life a little bit more comfortable coming through here. I'm a little bit wide, and I'm just going to go slightly defensive. I'm just a bit worried that maybe we were close enough. In fact, yeah, definitely close enough to maybe pull alongside, but I got on the power slightly earlier there and just avoided that happening. So now it's just a case of getting this last corner right. And again, a lot of people will be worrying about this, but I've never really struggled too much with this corner, so use as much, really all of the track, get nice and narrow, give myself a nice straight exit. But he's got a fantastic exit, and he almost managed to pull alongside. I just covered the racing line, just moved to the left and covered the normal racing line. That's what you do. I didn't want him to go beyond the white lines, and he didn't. And looking at, yeah, so there we go. I got that victory. And looking at the looking at the results there, in fact, I've had a slightly faster lap previously, but not too far off my previous best lap. And according to the results, you know, he on pace, well, pretty much is identical. But I do feel like if he'd have had some clean air, it probably would have been slightly faster, maybe half a tenth. I was just slowing him down in that first section, the chicane. I was just slowing him down ever so slightly, well, quite a lot actually. But yeah, it's a good race and a good result. Sometimes, you know, even if you're not entirely the fastest person on the track, you know, you get a good start, which I usually do in the Lamborghini. You know, you probably beat most people away from the line. And yeah, just hold your line, and as long as you've got some decent straight line speed and you hold your line, you can beat somebody who's most likely faster than you. But yeah, I feel good about that. You know, I didn't, you know, the pressure was there, and I got the result of a Ren 70. So that were a good race, that. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you for the next one.